Hey everybody, this is Bradley Benner. It is Masterclass Week 8 on April 29th, 2015. Welcome everybody, welcome Adam and Marco.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey everyone.
Adam sometimes is not very enthusiastic. I know you're probably busy.
Like looking at three screens, so we'll try that again.
No.
Hey everybody, I hope you're having a good day.
It goes 8. That's it. All right, well anyways, let's not waste time. We got a lot to go over. Guys, I know I wasn't here last week, but Hernan did the presentation. And if I remember correctly, in fact, before I even say something stupid like that, let me take a look really very quickly, just as a brief overview of what we did last week, and then I'm going to bring the slides up for today. So let me take the entire screen for the moment. And you guys are seeing my screen now, is that correct? Just mention when you do.
Looking good.
All right, so last week we talked about prospecting. We went into much more greater detail, and I know, guys, that we covered part of this stuff in the Advanced Strategy webinar inside of IFTTT SEO Academy. But it's also part of Masterclass because it bears repeating, because I know a lot of people don't actually end up watching the Advanced Strategy webinars for whatever reason, and also I wanted to kind of stretch these parts of this prospecting and funnels and all that out over a couple-week period so that we could go into more depth. So I know last week you guys went over prospecting because I prepared the slides, and so essentially last week was about collecting contact details, right? Finding potential prospects and then collecting their contact information so that this week we could cover how to contact and the best way to go about that from my experience anyways. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover today. Let me go ahead and take the screen to just the presentation for a moment, which would be Masterclass Week 8. Okay, so what we're going to cover today is, well, first I'm going to do in a minute a note about video results and search. We're going to I found like something that I had overlooked forever that I was on a webinar recently that somebody mentioned this, and it was a pretty good little trick or something that I'm going to show you guys in a moment. Contacting, we're going to talk about contacting, which is basically sending the pitch. Remember last week we prepared for the pitch, right? We prepared the pitch. We got our videos together, our messaging together that we were going to send to the prospects that we found and we located. Well, today we're going to talk about sending the pitch, which is contacting. And we're going to talk about direct contact, where you're looking for a direct response. And then we're going to talk about contacting and driving to a funnel, which is my preferred method. And we're going to talk about the follow-up. And then we're going to get into Q&A. Okay? So the first thing I want to mention just very briefly, because I'm going to show some examples again, guys, and I'm just going to use the demo funnel that I set up in for the Advanced Strategy webinar number 3 today, because I'm not going to show some of my live funnels. I don't want to give away too much. But I'll show you the demo funnels, and it's exactly what I use to drive people into, a lead gen, prospects, or even clients if I do client work, which, again, most of the time I just do client work from referrals, not actually seeking for clients anymore. But anyways, that said, one thing I want to mention here is that, let's go over, oh, excuse me, you guys are probably, I need to take the whole screen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's do that. Okay, so now I'm going to open Firefox. And I do want to show something. This is something that, like I said, was mentioned in a webinar that I was in last week, and it was like so simple that I've overlooked it. It doesn't mean you can't, like people ask, can I rank a video for this particular term? And honestly, I never know. Like the only way that I know that I can rank videos for stuff on first page is by just testing. But there is an indicator that I'm going to show you right now. So for example, like let's say roofing Richmond via when you do a search on a keyword and you notice the supplemental or what they call vertical search, come on, get out of here, vertical search, you'll notice that in the vertical search menu here there are the different tabs. See that? And if you don't see videos right here, if videos is in the more tab, it's less likely to be able, you're less likely to be able to rank a video on page 1 for that. You see that? Because let's search for something else. Like let's say we're looking for, I don't know, let's just try roof repair and see if that changes it. See how roof repair shows videos right here? But did you notice just a second ago, if we go back, we do roofing Richmond, VA, you notice how videos is now gone. It's not here. but it shows up in the supplemental vertical search menu. So that's not, guys, I have absolutely ranked videos before with the video vertical search in the drop down. Okay, I've absolutely done it. But this is an indicator, which again is such a simple indicator, that you're going to be more likely to be able to rank a video when it shows the video in the main search options or the main vertical search options, because that means that that search query is been categorized by Google as likely to show a video. Does that make sense? Is that clear? I hope that's clear. It just means, because remember, Google categorizes search queries into, there's literally categories of search queries, and some search queries support videos more than others, and some won't. Like, there are just flat out, and I know because I've tested some searches that just no matter what you do, you can't get a video on page 1, or if you do, it's very difficult to get it to stay. It's usually a fluke, and it's a temporary thing, and then it gets pushed off page 1. And there's some searches like that. And so what I found is that usually the more broad searches obviously they're less likely to show videos. When you get more long tail, they typically are more likely to show videos. And then obviously anything that has to do with like how to, like, so if you said like how to repair a roof, you'll see videos here, right? And that's most likely going to show videos, because any type of how-to keyword is going to trigger videos. But my point is I just wanted to make a very quick note about that, is that when I saw that last week explained that way, it was like, a light bulb went off, and I went, man, all this time, and I've never taken the time to consider that, and it absolutely makes sense. If the video does not show up in the vertical search right here, it would be in the supplemental, the drop down, but it's less likely to return a video. Doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means it's going to be more difficult, and it's going to be probably tougher to keep it on page 1. So that's a good indicator, guys, is whether or not you can, if you're targeting the correct keyword. Does that make sense? Hopefully that's clear. If there's any questions about that specifically, Adam, jump in and let me know.
Okay.
Okay. So let's move on. That was just something I wanted to talk about. So, guys, today we're going to talk about contacting, sending the pitch. So we're going to talk about first the direct contact. This is good for direct response and customized messages. So, in other words, if you're looking, okay, so setting up a funnel takes time. And it's going to take dialing in of the funnel. God knows we know that now. We're still dialing in our funnels and stuff like that. But even for like for local stuff, I've been working with local funnels now for several months, because it's something that I began to implement when we started building funnels for Semantic Mastery, and I saw really the power of funnels. Because I had never done that in local stuff, and all the years that I've been doing this, I had never used funnels. I didn't see the value just because I guess I had never used them before, but now I see the value, and it's absolutely my preferred method. But setting up funnels takes time, and it takes dialing in. If you guys are in need of generating revenue right away, then obviously you're probably going to want to go with the direct response. Okay, and so this is good. Direct contact is when you're looking for somebody to reply to you immediately, or by phone or by email, to where you can get to the sale as quickly as possible with a little bit of persuasion on your end. In other words, you'd have to have some human interaction with them to be able to sell them. And oftentimes, like, I have a really high closing rate, guys. Like, I hate sales. I absolutely hate selling to local clients and prospects. But when I do get in front, so like I have a fear of like cold contacting, like calling people, cold calling and stuff like that. I absolutely have a fear of that. I hate it more than anything. I would rather have my toenails pulled out one by one than to call people cold. But like, when I do get a conversation going with a prospect, I have a really high closing rate, and it's just because I'm able to, talk intelligently about it or whatever, and show them the benefits of what services I can provide, the leads that I can provide for their business, and so. But I completely understand, and that's why I said, like, if you guys are in need of money, like, to generate revenue quickly, then you're going to probably want to go with this route, okay? Otherwise, the funnel thing is good, but it can take some time to dial in and set up and everything else, and it's going to take a little bit of money. So I would recommend starting with going with the direct method to begin with, to start generating revenue, and then as you start to ramp up, you can start reinvesting some of your money in buying funnel products and things like that will help you to automate a lot of your sales, and then you can have revenue coming in while you're also fine-tuning that whole sales process, automating it. Okay, how do we send the direct email or the direct response messaging? Is either like video email, which was how I really got my start. YouTube email, which we'll talk about that again. I know we talked about it in Advanced Strategy webinar number 3, but we're going to talk about that briefly again here. But again, I started my local client consulting business using video email, and guys, that is how I communicate about 95% of the time, and that's no BS. That's the absolute truth with my clients, is through video email, because to me it's just so much more effective. I get my point across without being interrupted. I'm not bothering them during their busy day. They can watch it at whatever it's convenient to them, and then they can reply, and I've got to say whatever I had to say and show them whatever I had to show them. So I use video email for just about everything, but it's great for getting clients, guys. It's absolutely wonderful. The call to action would be to call me or to reply to this email. So in other words, your call to action in a direct response is to get them to call you directly or to reply to you directly. Okay? And then we're going to talk about using email tracking. There's a couple. I think Hernan mentioned one last week that was different than what I'm showing here. There are a dime a dozen, guys. There's email tracking softwares of a million kinds. I'm just going to talk about specifically the 2 that I use, and I'm going to tell you about the pros and cons of each in just a moment. Video email. What kind of video email am I talking about? Well, I know last week there were some questions, and there's been some questions from some of you guys about what type of email I would send to prospects, and if I could show examples. So today I cut an example of a personalized message that I would send to a prospect, and I'm going to show you how to actually set the Vmail up. That's video email or Vmail. How to set that up within Gmail. And I think it was Scott Gray who asked a question last week. I saw on the events page about, is it better to use a business email or a personal email? I have found much better results using a personal email, like Bradley Benner at Gmail. Like, that's how I did my prospecting. I rarely do that anymore, but I used Bradley Benner at Gmail and got a higher rate than Big Bamboo Marketing. Or Bradley at bigbamboomarketing.com, because that's clearly a marketing message, and so people tend to overlook that kind of stuff. Now, there could be some people want that professional image and all that. That's fine. I was all about getting money. I could care less about what my image was. I just wanted to get to the money as quickly as possible and get more people to open my emails, right, and see the video that I sent them. So in testing, I had a much higher open rate with a personal email using a personal email instead of a professional email. So it's entirely up to you guys and how you want to position yourself. Again, personally, I could care less about the Big Bamboo Marketing brand. I never really cared that much about that. That wasn't a big deal to me. To me, it was just about getting the money. But some of you that have that strong brand, or you want that strong brand, then you might want to go with a branded email, if that makes sense. Okay, so as far as the video email, I created this short video, guys. Here, I'll show it to you. It's literally 2 minutes. And I used to, when I got my start doing this, guys, I would send a video where I would just dissect somebody's website and and look at their social media profiles, and I would come at them from every angle, showing them where things could be improved or how they could benefit if it was improved. I found out, by the way, guys, if you send video emails to people, don't tell them what they've done wrong. Don't tell them that their site is, well, this is incorrect here, and this. Don't do that, because you'll piss people off. Instead, tell them how it could be improved, or how they could benefit if this change was made. It's just how you frame your remarks. It's going to make a difference in your conversion rate.
It's basic human psychology. If you start attacking someone, they're immediately going to be defensive and not want to work with you.
That's right. Even if the people didn't make the websites themselves, there's an emotional connection to their website. And so, and we're going to use that emotional connection to get them to watch our video to begin with. Okay, that's part of the video email, and getting that click to watch the video is by taking a screenshot of their website or one of their social media profiles, or something that has their logo or a picture of them on it, so that it draws the click. It entices the click, which will entice the video. Go ahead.
You should also discuss with the client what's really good about the website. I mean, you need to stroke their ego also.
Yeah, that's true. Destroy them. And so, and then that's what I mean. In doing a longer analysis, which again, when I first got my start, guys, I would always try to get my videos under 5 minutes, and they'd end up going 12 minutes, 14 minutes. But that's not very efficient with your time, because if you're trying to send out 20 prospecting emails in a day, and you're doing 10 or 12 minutes on each prospecting email, then you spent a ton of time creating videos that you don't know if those people are even going to open your email to begin with. So I learned over time and through trial and error not to go through all that trouble. Only go through that trouble after you sent them a brief email that's 1 or 2 minutes long, and they've clicked on it and watched it, and then you can, by using email tracking, guys, you can see when somebody's opened your email. And if you have a more advanced program like Point of Mail, like I'll show you, it will show you if they've clicked the link inside your email, how long they've stayed on the email, so they'll show you like the duration, show you all kinds of cool stats or statistics, analytics of that email, and so you know the people that have watched your video because you can see how long they had that email open, if they watched the video and all that kind of stuff. Then you can go back and send a follow-up to those people with the longer email. But on the initial contact, I don't recommend doing that. And ask me why. If I can tell you, because I wasted a ton of time doing that. And I recommend only doing it on the second time. But like Marco said, when you get to the point where you are doing that analysis, the audit of their site or their online presence, period, that you absolutely during that audit you want to mention, hey, you did a great job, or hey, this site looks great. This I really like this slider, blah blah blah. However, I do want to point out that, look, if you also had this, it would provide these results as well, or you could benefit from this because of this, that kind of thing. But you absolutely want to stroke their ego, just like Marco said. But guys, here Adam, I'm gonna drop this link if you can put that on the events feed. So for the example that I created today, guys, I just did a very, very brief example of what I would talk like the first initial contact message. You can see it's 1 minute and 44 seconds long, and I'm a little rusty when it comes to a cold contact email, guys, because I just don't really do that much anymore. I send cold contact emails, but I drive them to Funnels. But like this is a direct response video, and so I'm a little bit rusty. So 1 minute and 44 seconds is a little bit longer than what I would recommend. Like if you can get it down to 90 seconds or less, you're doing better, because you can crank out more videos that way. You can send out more in volume, and you're going to get a better response. It's a numbers game. Okay, but anyways, that's the example of the video. If you guys want to watch it, I'm not going to watch it here and waste a minute and a half of your time. But what I do want to say is I created this very short email. This is what I use, something very similar to this when I'm sending the video email, and I'm going to show you how to set up a video email in Gmail. You can do it with pretty much any email client. It's going to be pretty much the same process. The buttons may be different, things like that, but they're going to be pretty much the same process. This, let's blow this up real quick so you guys can see it, and I'll also read it, and then we're going to create the video email. We're going to move on.
If you can, also post that in chat, and I'll just paste it in there too. Thanks.
Sure. And these will also be in the notes, guys. Obviously on the replay page, which, by the way, guys, we didn't post the replay from last week until today, and I apologize for that. Nobody complained, so I guess you guys are cool with it, but it should have been posted like by Friday at the latest last week, and we dropped the ball on that one, and I want to apologize if anybody noticed that. And if anybody didn't notice that, I just told on us. But anyways, hey, I have something I wanted to run by you really quickly. I have several roofing leads for the Richmond, Virginia area, and I'm looking for someone to send them to. Check out the short video to see what I mean, and then contact me so I can send you these leads. And then I put the image there, which we're going to connect to the YouTube video. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. Then I say if you don't see the video above, because some email clients are going to strip the image, right? So I always put a line in there that says if you don't see the video above, because remember, it's going to look like a video right in their email. Okay, so I don't say if you don't see the video or the image above. I say if you don't see the video above, you can watch it on YouTube here. And I give them the YouTube URL. Always use YouTube, because people don't mind clicking YouTube URLs. Don't use like a self-hosted video, because people don't like to click. Well, some people don't like to click on links they don't know. At least this is a YouTube link, so you've got that YouTube branding in the URL. Hurry though, because these roofing leads are on a first-come, first-served basis. This will be bolded. You'll see that in a minute. If you don't want them, I'm sure name a big company in the area does. That makes sense, guys. You want to push that urgency and that scarcity. Trust me, it works, especially for contractors. They tend to respond very, very well when you kind of like let them know that if they don't want them, that's fine, because Joe's roofing down the street will. That they tend to respond very well to that. Okay, so let me show you how to do this in Gmail real quick. You guys are seeing my image, my thing, right? Screen still. I'm going to assume that that's a yes.
Yes, we see it.
Okay. Adam, I'm going to send you a video email.
Cool.
Okay. So I'm going to send this to Adam, and I'm going to say roof. Let's say roof repair. Let's say or need. Let's just do this. Need roofing contractor. I didn't put a subject in that email. Need roofing contractor. And a lot of times if you use like the city, and guys, I know the example video that I showed just now is for Manassas. You know, I could change it to Manassas. It doesn't matter. That's a video that I ranked for a local client, and it's for roof installation Manassas. It's not the most highly searched term, but they're paying for it. They're happy. It's ranked #1. I use this as the example, although the funnel that I set up for the demo when I did it was for Richmond. So just interchange Richmond and Manassas, guys. This is just the example that I had set up today. Does that make sense? Anyways, had I planned a little bit more, I would have ranked one for Richmond before doing this. Anyways, so I say need a roofing contractor in Richmond. Okay. Anyways, that said, that's going to get their attention. Remember, you're going to email them because you found their email address in last week's training, right? And you can do it manually yourself. You can use software to scrape emails, or you can hire a VA to do it. Once again, guys, I like hiring VAs to do that stuff because there's that human element, and they tend to find things that softwares can't scrape. And it's certainly not the best use of my time is locating email addresses. So I hire VAs from Odesk to do my data collection. It's like data entry. I'll pay $3.5, $4 an hour, and they'll scrape all the leads for me. There are tools out there that will do that. However, a lot of the times those tools are going to scrape like info at domains. Webmail accounts, which nobody ever looks at. I like to try to get Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, those kind of emails, okay, or at least somebody's name at their domain.com. You know what I mean? Like those are usually better emails to get, and so that's why I usually hire a VA to do that. Anyways, let's go ahead and grab this real quick and paste this in, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, how to create this. Okay, so hey, I have something I want to run by you really quickly. I have several roofing leads in the Richmond, Virginia area. Okay, you're speaking directly to them. Check out this short video and see what I mean, and then contact me so I can send you these leads. So I'm telling them I'm going to send them these leads. Well, it's true if they buy them, right? I want to send them to them. If they come off the money, right? So anyways, from here, where I just placed my cursor there, and you have to, I don't know if you still have to do this because I enabled this a long, long time ago, but I can insert a photo. A long time ago, you used to have to go into your settings in Gmail and go to Google Labs and enable the insert picture.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's standard now.
Yeah, I think it probably is standard now, but you used to have to add that app to Gmail. Probably don't need to do that anymore. But from here, you like that circle of trust? I love that. Are you here? I'm going to upload an image that I prepared, which was just a screenshot. So let me go find that real quick. Wait a minute, desktop. Okay, this is the Manassas one, so let's just use that one because this is the one from that image. Okay, now guys, I should have put an outline on that, and I didn't. I failed to do that, but I should have put an outline on there. But you see how there's a play button right there? That's just an overlay. It's just a transparent background overlay of a play button. I just went to Google Images and searched for press play button, and then found one with a transparent background, and I overlaid it on top of the screenshot. I should have put a border around here. Something else you can do is you can take a screenshot of a YouTube video, which I didn't do, but if you take, like, for example, let's just go to videos real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. You can take a video, let's open this up, I'll pause it.
There's a bunch of tools out there, too, if you don't have something on your computer that can do it, online tools that are free that you can overlay the images. Because I know everyone may not be used to that. I think Picture Monkey or something is one of those. You just upload the 2 photos and drag them where you want it, and you're done.
I think you could even do it like in Paint.com and all that. Like pretty much, what is it? There's another one like something Sumo. Like there's just a ton of online programs, image editing programs online that you can use. GIMP is a free download. It's like Photoshop. Anyways, you could take a screenshot of this image. That's what I should have done. But anyways, I was in a hurry. Let me exit out of that for a minute. If I do a screenshot of this, and I go ahead and collect, are you guys seeing my screenshot tool?
Yep.
Or no?
Yep.
Okay. So if I take an image of this, like here, take a screenshot, and then I edit this out a little bit to where I could just overlay the screenshot that I wanted on top of this YouTube player, to where the YouTube functions down here still show up, then it looks like a YouTube video in the middle of the email. Does that make sense? I failed to do that, guys, for this because I was kind of in a hurry preparing these notes. I apologize for that, but the same thing. It's the same thing. I just took a screenshot, but you could fit this screenshot into this frame here so that the YouTube player is still showing at the bottom. So that makes it look like a video, right? And then you overlay the play button, which is what I just showed you. There's an overlay play button there. Okay, so that's all you need to do. Then you just click on the image and you see how it highlights. Okay, so from there, let's see, we want to add the link, so we come down here and go to the link button. Where's the link button? There it is. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to add the URL to the video. So the video is the one that I just showed you. So I'm going to grab this URL, and I'm going to paste that right here, and I'm going to click OK. The text to display, clear that, okay, because you're using the image as the anchor text. Click OK, and why did that not, let's back it up again. I don't know why I did that. Highlight the whole thing.
Yeah, what you've got to do, I've had some issues with this. You've got to, click and drag the image and then
make it blue.
And then you can hit the link button and do it.
Come on.
But just the picture, not the. There you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that, and I'm having issues right now. Right there. Let's try that. Well, I don't know why it's not cooperating right now. So. Anyways, that's the idea, guys. I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to make this work. I know it works. So, and you can do the same thing within, like Yahoo. If you're using a private email exchange, like if you're using a domain email, a lot of the domain or the email webmail programs will allow you to do the same thing. I've got to play with that to figure out why.
There you go. That should be it. You had it there. You just got to make sure it's just the image. So you might try doing hold Shift and just hit left, just to try to get it to select just the. So if you've got the cursor on, now try adding the link.
It's still not.
Yeah. Anyways, it works.
There it is. You see how it says go to link? So sorry, guys. It's just giving me shit, but just a minute. It's been a while since I had to do this. Okay, there we go. Now that's linked. You see that, guys? You can't. Now, I'm going to drop down and finish the email, but that is definitely linked, and I'll prove it because I'm going to send it to Adam. So, Adam, be prepared so that you can open up your email in a minute. Grab the screen. Anyways, so if you don't see the video above on YouTube, you can watch that here. Hurry, though, blah, 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 and I'm going to put this in here as well. Okay, and it's going to say name big company here. So let's just say that the biggest company would be, I don't know, Joe's Awesome Roofing. And that's a big fish company in that area, okay? So you just do something like that. Say, okay, if you don't want them, I'm sure Joe's Awesome Roofing does. And that's it. You put your contact information. I've already got my contact information, as a signature in my email anyways, but that's it. Then you go ahead and you send the email. Now, you notice I have a tracking here. This is Yesware. Guys, I use Yesware now just to see like when people are opening my emails, like the ones that I want to track and stuff like that. However, I'm going to talk in a minute about if you're doing a lot of prospecting. Yesware probably has a paid upgrade. I'm sure they have paid upgrades. I only use the free one just because I don't really have to track emails that much anymore like this. But for this kind of cold prospecting. But when I was doing a lot of it, I used point of mail, and I'll show you inside the point of mail dashboard in a minute because the analytics are awesome inside of that. So Yesware might be just as good, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to go ahead and send this to you, Adam. Okay, and it's saying that a view message has been sent if you want to go find that. In fact, you guys will probably see the notification come up when he opens it. One thing I've noticed with Yesware, though, is that the notifications a lot of the times aren't instant. In other words, if he opens this email, there's usually a delay before the notification comes up, whereas like some of the things like point of mail, they show like almost instantly. And you can even set up to have it. And again, Yesware might have these features. I don't know, but with point of mail,
did you send it to me or Semantic Mastery?
Semantic Mastery.
Okay, I got it. So I'm going to go ahead and click and open it.
Do you want to take the screen?
Yeah. Well, I was going to wait and see if it shows up on your screen. Yep. See, I think you just got an event in the background.
Oh, I did?
Yep.
Let's go take a look at it. No, it's not showing. Yep.
Okay. I'll go ahead and. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the screen.
That's why I'm saying, like, Yesware, sometimes I've noticed there's a delay. Where point of mail, you can even set up point of mail to where it'll send you a text message when somebody opens your email. So if you're doing cold prospecting, and let's jump ahead for a minute, guys, because this is important. Now that we're on this subject, use email tracking. Yesware point of mail. Yesware is free, and I know there's other free versions as well of other email tracking software. Sorry, my mouse is going nuts. But when I was doing, like I said, a lot of cold prospecting, I have a paid point of mail account, and I'm going to show you the dashboard there in a minute. But what's important is, let's go to the follow-up part. Where the hell is it? Okay. When you get an open email, you can call that person when you know that they've opened the email and talk to them. Like, right? That's the best time to call them, because you know they just saw your email. They just watched your video. If you have the advanced analytics, like what Point of Mail can provide, then you can see not only did they open the email, and you'll get notification immediately. Like, again, you can get a text message that texts you when somebody's opened your email. Then if somebody clicks the link, that's another event. Then you could see the duration. So if your video is 90 seconds long and the duration is, 96 seconds, you know they watched that video. Well, because first it notifies you they clicked a link, and then they stayed on the page or had that window open for 96 seconds or whatever it is, and active in that browser. Then that means that they watched your video. Right then is a great time to pick up the phone and call them. I've done it, guys, and I've landed clients that way, because I've called them and said, hey, this is Bradley. I had sent you a video earlier today, and I wonder if you had a chance to watch it yet. You ask them. You already know, but you don't let them know that you know. You just ask them, and then that just, it nails it, and it's because it's like, oh wow, this is coincidental. I actually was just watching it. Some people lie to you and say, no, I never saw it. I never got your email or whatever, and don't worry about that. But that's if you want to call. I don't do that anymore just because I don't need to. But that is a great way to get people land clients very, very quickly, because you kind of catch them off guard, but you're fresh in their mind, right? Like, you're on their if they just watched your video just now, they're thinking about you and your offer. So if you call them, they're a lot more susceptible, or a lot more open to whatever message it is that you got to send. You want to convey to them. Okay. The other thing you can do is send a follow-up email with a different message. So, for example, if somebody clicks your email and you get the notification that they opened it, and then especially if you have the advanced analytics where you get to see that they clicked the link inside, and you know that they watched your video now, then you could send them a follow-up. If you don't want to do the cold calling thing, which I don't blame you if you don't want to do it, okay, then you could send a follow-up email with a different message and another video email. You could do one that's more in-depth, like what I talked about, where you analyze their online presence and you send them a free audit, in other words, and saying, hey, look, this is what can be done, blah, 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 so that you can get your message across. Now, let me just show you some examples of what this looks like. By the way, did it show up okay, Adam?
Yeah, if you want to resend it, though, resend it to my
Gmail,
my personal account, because it's formatting it weird because it went to our support account, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So it's fine, and I'll show it, too, because it's a good example of why you want to include the link. So
I'll go there. Roofing contractor. See if this time I can add the link without it giving me a hard time. Try this one more time. I love that. It drives me. Every time I see it, I giggle. All right, let's go to Manassas. I'm just going to leave the brackets. Come on, image. I don't know why it's not processing, but I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to grab it. Come on, Gmail. There it goes. Okay, just make sure that that's linked.
Yep.
Damn it. It didn't used to be this if called. It didn't get, like, honest to God, I don't know why it's just acting buggy to me, but maybe it's just because I'm rusty, that's all. Let's try it again. Whoops.
All right, yeah, if you go down there, you'll see it pop up, and you've got to click on the, so go ahead and click the link.
Oh, right
you'll see
there.
it right
Okay.
there. You've got to change it. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Adam, because I would have done it 4 more times, and then I would have been cussing. Okay, so that's done. All right, and I've got tracking set, but again, Yesware I found is there's a really awful delay with Yesware, at least with the free account. And I'm going to send this J.A. Moody. Okay, there we go.
Cool.
Tell me when you get it. In the meantime, I'm going to go to Point of Mail.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open it.
It's pointofmail.com. They have it's a paid account, and I think their advertised pricing is one thing. But I was okay. Look, it did show that you opened that, Adam. You see that? See that here, guys? If you guys,
oh, there it is. Yep.
roofing contractor, it showed up down here. So that time it showed. Maybe certain clients will trigger the notification and other clients won't. In other words, email clients, guys. Do you want to share your screen real quick, Adam?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Screen share. Where am I at? Inbox. Nope. Don't want to share that. There we go. All right. So you guys are probably seeing this. So here you go. This is what I opened up.
Yep.
Can you see this?
Yep, I can see it.
All right. So we've got this. Looks like the image. Press play. Okay. So yeah, actually, I noticed this. This is interesting. So okay, it brings open the video, which is good. If you have, I think, and I don't know if this changed, but if you have the tracking enabled for links, it will open in a new window. If you don't have tracking enabled, it pops up right here in Gmail, which is kind of slick.
Yeah, it is, but that will only happen in Gmail. For all other clients, it will still open in a new tab.
Yep, but if obviously if you're sending one at a time, it's something to weigh against. You may just want the tracking, which is fine, but it is kind of neat when you see it and it pops up right in your screen and doesn't take you to a new page or anything.
That's right. That's absolutely true, but I like the tracking capabilities. When I was, if you're being aggressive about your sales, the tracking capabilities is I think more important in my opinion.
Sure. And just as a quick example, this is what it looked like when it went through our support email. So this is just an example of what could happen if you hadn't included that link. There's no way they would have seen the video.
They would have lost the video. Exactly. That's why we do that, guys, because some email clients are going to strip the image, period, and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's why we include that other link. But anyways, that said, let me get back to the presentation. I know I swear to God, these are like this. These 1 hours go by so quick. All right. Inside of Point of Mail, guys, I know at least, I repurchased this back in January when I started playing with funnels for local prospecting, and I got a year of the gold or whatever for $90 or 90 something like that. So I know that they've got deals every now and then. You could probably find online coupons and stuff like that. And I started testing the funnels using the Point of Mail. What's cool about Point of Mail is you can get an extension that goes in your browser, and all it is a button. It's that little orange button like that, and you click on it, and it adds whatever your email is, the outbound email that you're sending. So if you're sending to adammoody@gmail.com, which that's not his email, but let's just say that was, and I was sending adammoody@gmail.com, it just appends .pointofmail to the end of that. So it would be adammoody@gmail.com .pointofmail, and that's what adds the tracking, is that additional .pointofmail being added. And you can see it says it right here. Okay, so it just appends this to the end. So if you put the browser plugin in, which they have one for Firefox and Chrome and I think Safari and all that kind of stuff, you just click a button and it will automatically append it. But what I do, especially if I'm doing a prospecting campaign, is I just set up a spreadsheet, whether it's Google Spreadsheets or Excel, and have all of the emails that I'm sending to in one column and .pointofmail in the other column. And then I set up a simple formula column A would be all the emails I'm sending to. Column B would be .pointofmail. .pointofmail.com, which you see right here, this extension. And then I just have a simple formula that combines column A and column B into column C, which is just the destination email. And I just drag and drop that cell. I highlight that cell and click the bottom right corner and just drag and drop it, and it will automatically format all those emails for me so that I can send them out very quickly. And again, guys, I usually set this up one time and then I show an outsourcer how to do it, and they do all of this for me. This is not something if you're just starting out, you're going to want to do this on your own, I know that. But if you're going to get serious about your business, or once you start having some revenue coming in, hire this stuff out, guys. You don't need to be doing this. Hire this stuff out, because you can pay somebody $4 an hour and let them do all of this for you. Okay? So anyways, that said, let me show you what it looks like, because you'll see I did a lot of emailing in January. So you can see in January when I set this up. Now, I purchased a $500 software program that handles my tracking now, and it will drive people to funnels, and it does follow-up email campaigns and everything. It's all combined into one. It's called vidfunnel.com. It's by Bill Guthrie or Guthrie. So that's why I'm not using Point of Mail right now for the stuff that the funneling that I'm doing now. It's because I'm using a more advanced program. But this is perfectly this will suffice. This will do the job, and it does it very well. So anyways, you can see, guys, when I started testing this particular funnel, it was in January. And if you take a look at the status, like look at this one, guys. This person read this email 3 times and they forwarded it twice. You see that? Tell me they weren't interested in this, what I was offering in my message. They read it 3 times and they forwarded it twice. Look at this. Read 11 times, forwarded 3 times. You guys seeing that? You see how powerful that is? Why I think these analytics are so important? So let's go ahead and sort by status. Now we can see that, guys, this is just what, I don't know, maybe there's 10 results or 15 or 20 results on this page. Every one of these people on this page have read 1 time at least, or they've read it twice, forwarded it once, read it 11 times, forwarded it 3 times. You guys seeing that? So you can see that, like, this one was read 3 times, forwarded twice. You guys see, so that the idea here is that when you get, let's go back and take a look at the one that had all that activity on it. Let's take a look at that real quick, this one. If we open this up, this will tell you the times that they opened them. It tells you the browser they were using, their operating system. It tells you the duration, look, 24 seconds, their IP. Isn't that insane, the kind of information that we can gather on people? I mean, that's a bit scary, isn't it? But take a look at this one. We can open these up and we'll see all these different 24 seconds. That's odd. I wonder if that, like this one was 48 seconds. This one was another 24 seconds. And these are all different times. You see that? This is 12:49 p.m., 9:41 a.m. On January 7th. And this is the day when I mailed it. So this was probably the most recent activity at the top, January 27th at 2:21 p.m. You see that? So anyways, my point is that you could set up your notifications in here to text you and everything, so that you can get a notification immediately. And there, I mean, it's just insane what you can do with this, guys. So very, very powerful program. I wanted to show you that. All right. So you saw the video email. Let's go back. The other thing, guys, I'm going to try not to spend a ton of time on this because we are like already almost out of time. But the YouTube email, guys, I showed you guys this in Advanced Strategy webinar number 3, but let's talk about that very briefly as well. If you go into YouTube and let's go to the video that I was talking about. Let me grab that URL. That's not it. Let's grab this one here. And I probably have to be from my channel. No, I can be from any channel, I believe. Let me do it from my channel, just a moment. Okay, here we go.
Hey, my name is...
All right, so this video, guys, if I wanted to send it direct, you can also do this, because we just talked about video email. It's a little bit more involved doing that, but you get the analytics and all that other stuff if you're using tracking software like what I just mentioned. But you can also, guys, you see the share button right here underneath the video. I'm logged into my channel. This is a video that was produced on my channel. I recommend that you go with a personal name here or a brand name, because your channel name is going to show up in the email. I'll show you what I mean. Adam, I'm going to send this to you again. So that I don't have to send it to myself, because Yahoo's a bit slow, and I would send it to my Yahoo. But if I go to the share button here, guys, you see the email button here? Click on this, and now I can send this video from my channel to whoever I want, and it shows up with a, like, it's very cool because it shows a thumbnail of the video right in the email. It looks like a video in the email again, just like what we simulated with a screenshot software and adding the link to the screenshot, right? So let's go ahead and do. You guys all spam Adam to death. He's going to be mad at me. So don't
I
spam.
will find every single.
Yeah. Don't spam Adam. Okay. So anyways, I could put a message in here as well. So I'm just going to copy this top part of it, Adam, because you guys get the idea. But you see right here, it shows what the email is going to look like, right here, and then this is the name of the video. So it says Roofing Leads in Manassas. The name of the video is going to show up too. So that's why you want to name it something like, in this case, if I was going to send I would edit the name and say something like Need a Roofing Contractor in Manassas, right? Something like that, where I'm telling them that I need their services, right? And that's, I do. I need their services so they can buy these leads from me, right? So I'm not being dishonest. Might be a bit misleading, but, you know, so be it. So anyways, you can see that I've started putting that in. I can fill that all the way, and I'm going to go ahead and send this now, Adam. Tell me when you receive it.
Yep.
And by the way, if you're sending
right away
from YouTube, what?
Right away.
Yeah. Did it show up in your social tab though?
No.
Okay, good. Because sometimes I know that sending from YouTube will show up in the social tab. But Adam, if you don't mind, I don't know if you do mind, but if you don't mind, can you show what it looks like? Because it says sent from YouTube, right?
Yep. Let me. Here we go. So let me back out real quick. I'll show you this. So it says YouTube. That's the sender.
Yeah. Hold on.
And
Let me lock the screen on you so I can see it.
Oh, can you see it? You got it?
Yeah. YouTube is
right.
the sender, guys. And then
Yeah,
look.
YouTube.
Then
and then it
look at the
says
subject line, Bradley Benner, because that's my channel name. Your channel name will say "sent you a video." So like, if your channel name is Roofer Marketing, it's going to be Roofer Marketing sent you a video. So I don't recommend putting something like that in there. It's better to use a personal channel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and this is pretty slick. You know, it gives your picture to whatever you have on your channel. So.
You guys see that? Look how cool that is. And when you click on it, what's it do? Hey, my name is Bradley, and I've got. You see how cool that is, guys? Now you don't get the analytics that you do with a tracking software, but look how awesome that email looked. You guys saw that? Very, very cool. Okay. So anyways, hopefully you guys understand what I was trying to do with that. It's very, very powerful, guys. Make sure the call to action is, and you know that if you're doing direct response, it's going to be, hey, call me or email me, reply to this email for more information or whatever. And if you're using the contact or the tracking software, guys, you can follow up with them immediately with a phone call. Excuse me, or you could send them a second email if they don't call you or reply, but you've seen that they've had activity, like read your email 3 times or 11 times and forward it 3 times. You guys saw that, right? That person, for whatever reason, they were interested, but they didn't contact me, right? So you can follow up with them, and they're most likely you will get them. It might just take you another 1 or 2 follow-ups to get them. Does that make sense? Okay, we got to move on. We are way behind. Way behind. Contacting with a funnel, guys, good for screening. This is my preferred method now because I'm not really hurting for clients, guys. But so those of you that, like I said, already have income coming in, but you'd like to bring more in, then this is a good way to do it. If you're not like pressed for money like immediately, setting up a funnel is hands down my preferred method. Again, I'm testing several different funnel methods right now for prospecting using some expensive softwares and stuff like that. But you can do it you can bootstrap it bare bones it by just using a good. By the way, Adam, go ahead and drop those product links in there that just for funnel creation tools as funnel software.
Yeah, we've got some stuff we use. By the way, this is stuff we've used or are using,
right.
And is really good for funnels.
Right, and so this is good for screening, guys, because what's great about sending people through a funnel process is that by the time they actually get to contact you, like to where you either follow up and contact them or they contact you, they've already purchased at that point. Which, if you set up a proper funnel, you give them an avenue to purchase, a path to purchase, without even having to talk to you, and that's beautiful when you got a notification from PayPal that you got a payment received and you didn't have to even talk to them. That's fantastic. But a lot of the times there will be at least a small part of sales that involved, and that's at the very end of the funnel where they are pre-sold. They've gone through the different steps, so the only time that you even talk to these people is after they're pre-sold and they've seen your offer and they're ready to purchase. And they just need a slight nudge. And that's why it's my preferred method, because the psychology is different. You're not cold contacting them then. They're a really warm or even a hot lead. Right? So the whole conversation is stacked in your favor at that point. So this is my preferred method. Okay, you only talk to the most serious prospect. Use a more general message so that you can mass message people, because you're using the funnel to bring them through the funnel process, the sales process. You don't need to be so specific, which means you don't have to necessarily do those 90-second videos where you're showing the prospect their own property and where they are and where your stuff is. You don't have to do all that. You just do a more general message. And here, guys, because I'm really trying to rush now, and I'm sorry, but here is, by the way, Adam, did you drop those links for Point of Mail and Yesware? Did you?
No, I did not. I put that. They'll be in the notes, though.
Okay, they'll be in the notes, guys. I meant to give those to Adam to drop. That's my fault. Adam, here, drop this on the page. This is the roofing leads, the funnel email that I shared in the last advanced strategy webinar, guys. This is exactly the type of funnel emails that I use. Or videos. This is just a sales video sales letter that I use with. I'm real aggressive in it. I talk about, hey, look, I've got leads. You want them? I'm contacting other roofers in your area. The first person and you guys don't have to hold to the first person that replies, because you actually, especially if you have a point in your funnel that you actually talk to the people, you're going to want to work with somebody that, if you get some asshole on the phone, you're not going to want to sell to him because he's going to be a jerk all the time. You know what I mean? So you can pick and choose, but you use that as a scarcity tactic and say, hey, look, first person that contacts me is going to get these leads. And so do you want them? Because if you don't, somebody else will. And I'm real aggressive with these kind of emails, and they work very, very well, especially with contractors. I'm sure different industries respond differently, but with contractors, that works very, very well. So you guys, I know you saw this. You should have seen this in Advanced Strategy webinar number 3. But what happens is this is the video email. And so the video email, the thumbnail that I send in the video, on the email, the image is a different image too than the one that I just showed you. I don't have time to set that up. I was going to walk through that today too, guys, but we don't have time. But what I do have here is I have an overlay. This is an external annotation. You can set this up in YouTube yourself. And this external annotation, this is just an image that says click here, but this whole box right here is clickable. And when they click on this, because this video is their call to action. Their call to action is to click here, not to contact me. It's to click here. So that's, if we go back to the slides for a minute, the call to action should be in the video. And if you don't have external annotation set up on your YouTube channel, do it. Set it up. Or you can say click the link below this video. But I recommend putting the link right in the video. Okay, it's more effective. The conversions are higher. You'll get a higher click-through rate. And take the prospect to a sales or a squeeze page. This is where I told Adam to drop these links in because I use ClickFunnels, guys. ClickFunnels is expensive. It's freaking awesome. I love ClickFunnels. I even have fun setting up funnels. I think it's just fantastic. It's one of the coolest things in the world, in my opinion. But it is expensive. So there are other cheaper alternatives out there for building funnels. OptimizePress is one of them. OptimizePress is a WordPress theme, but they also have an OptimizePress plugin that you get when you buy the theme. So you can use whatever theme you already have on your site and then use the plugin instead and build sales pages and squeeze pages with it. OptimizePress is actually pretty easy to use, so that's an option. There's also Profit Builder, WP Profit Builder, which is by Sean Donahoe, the same guy that builds Backlink Commando, which is another plugin that we use for automating our indexing, right? So that's another plugin that I know that we have used, or our students have used, or whatever our team is using now, whatever. So these are all funnel products. Plus, guys, if you don't have a product and you don't, if you're tight on money, which I understand, you can just send people to a standard WordPress page with another video that is your sales video and a PayPal buy button or an opt-in form. Okay, which I recommend using an autoresponder as an alternative method. I recommend, and I'm going to show you, if I click this link, watch what it does. It's going to take us over to this funnel. I shared this, like I said, in the Advanced Strategy webinar. This is the sales video selling this service, which is generating roofing leads for your area, put your competitors out of business. This auto plays when the page loads, right? And then right here, what do I have? I have a buy button that if I click that, look, it literally goes over to PayPal and gives them the opportunity to purchase. Because that's what I want. I want that notification that they've purchased, and I didn't even have to talk to them, right? You guys get that? But the thing is you also want an opt-in form, which, again, if you're on a budget and you don't have Aweber or GetResponse or Constant Contact or whatever, any one of those autoresponder services, then you can have just a Contact Form 7 plugin and put a contact form, and when somebody submits it, it goes direct to your email. I like using a contact form and an autoresponder because now I have a series of follow-up emails that are preloaded that are selling this same offer, so that when somebody opts in, if they decide to, instead of clicking the buy button, they opt in. And do you see there's nowhere on here to call me? There's no direct access to me, right? Because I don't want to talk to these people unless they're really serious or really interested. So if they at least submit their contact information here, they're going to get put on the autoresponder series, which is me pitching this same service to them over and over again. I don't hound them, but like once every other day, or now send them a tip about honestly, like marketing tips for their business. But by the way, we have leads already. If you want to shortcut that, here, click here to find out more, and it just brings them right back to this page. Does that make sense? So it's an automated follow-up series so that I don't have to do it. And that's why I said, guys, I totally recommend, guys, if you don't have the money to purchase, look, if you're here now on this call with us now, that means you're serious enough about your business to pay for this training on a monthly basis. So you're probably serious enough to spend a few dollars on a funnel plugin or something like that to be able to set up sales pages and automate your funnels, get an autoresponder, load it up with some follow-up emails, so that you can automate your sales process, guys, because then, again, guys, you can outsource the sending of the emails, collecting the email data, sending emails. You can outsource all of that on Odesk, guys, for $3 or $4 an hour. I'm no kidding. And so you put somebody on a 10 hours per week, you spend $35 per week, and you could have them sending out literally 100, 200 emails per week for $35, and having all that traffic coming back to your funnel, where the funnel does the sales and the follow-up for you on autopilot. And you might spend, let's say you just spend $35 a week, guys, you're talking $140 a month. If you were to land one client that's going to pay you $150 a month for a ranked video, you've paid for that month from one client. If you're sending out 100 emails per week, what are your chances of only getting one client? Very slim. Your chances are much greater that you're going to get 5, 6, 8 clients in a month. Is it worth paying the VA? Absolutely. Okay. All right, we got to try to roll through the next couple pages, guys. But the standard WordPress page, if you don't have a funnel and all that, guys, if you don't have all of that, again, you can set up just a standard WordPress page on your website that is just a video, a buy button, and an opt-in form. That's it. You don't need a funnel. I mean, I recommend making it look better using these. It automates so much stuff. But if you don't have all that, or you can't afford that at the moment, then don't. Just do that and still drive traffic to it. Okay. We already talked about this. Follow-up emails for all opened emails. Call when somebody opens. If you're in need of client money now, then do that, because you'll be able to close a client very quickly. If you are more like me, which I don't want to do that. I don't like doing that. It works. I've done it and it works, but I don't prefer doing that. Then you can just send follow-up emails, and this is for direct response. For funnels, you can call or email again if you want to, or you have the autoresponder, which, guys, that's automation. We love automation, right? Or hire it, outsource it. Either automate it or outsource it, right? Autoresponders automates it. Okay. Last thing we're going to say is close the deal, guys. Once you've got that contact, you've contacted that prospect, they've expressed an interest by opening an email. You may have had to follow up with them to get the conversation going, the dialogue going, where you close the sale. Or if you have an completely automated, the sale could have been closed without your input at all, right? Which is, again, preferred method. It's going to take more contacts, more emails sent to bring people through the fully automated process. There's no question. But again, that's why you hire an outsourcer to do your emailing for you, because then you never have to talk to anybody. But if you do have a human contact element in your funnel, which is very effective, it's going to take less to close less emails to get to the sale, because you have that ability to sell to them and one-on-one. Okay, so when you're closing the deal, guys, and you get that conversation going, to close the deal, you want to push the pain. Look, I was having a conversation with Michael Bowes earlier, he's on our support staff now. He's also a student, a long-time member, about a particular. He asked me about closing a deal with a client. People generally fall into two categories when it comes to selling to them, right? They're either going to respond, they're either looking to avoid pain, or they're looking to realize gain. Does that make sense? It's usually one of those two categories. And when you start a dialogue with somebody, you can usually identify, you should be able to, and it takes practice, but you should be able to identify what is their motivation. Are they trying to avoid pain, or are they trying to realize gain, right? And so you need to frame your pitch to whatever will appeal to them, okay? And the only way that you can ever determine that, if you're trying to automate this, guys, you need to put both elements into your pitch, because you don't know who's watching it, so you want both elements to be there. But when you're doing a one-on-one, an actual sales call with somebody, you need to have a little bit of dialogue with them, and then try to identify through asking questions what their motivation is for even talking to you, for even taking the time out of their busy day to talk to you. And generally you can pick up on it very quickly with some practice that they're either trying to avoid pain or realize gain, and then you frame the rest of your pitch to appeal to that particular person and that mindset, if that makes sense. Okay, so you either want to push the pain or you want to point out the benefits. Again, if you're automating, you're going to want to do both in your message. But if you're talking one-on-one, you're going to want to find out, and use that specific messaging to that specific person. Decide on pricing. We've talked about that, guys. Flat rental or pay per lead, right? I recommend, flat rental to start, because it's so much easier. There's less overhead. There's less management. Pay per lead gets a lot more involved. It's more profitable for the most part, but it's more involved. You guys know that. We've been over that a million times. Get the agreement, either verbal and writing. Guys, I don't do written contracts. Some people prefer that. I don't. I do literally verbal agreements. I say, look, here's I get an agreement over the phone or via email, which that would, I guess, constitute written agreement, but I don't have formal contracts. And I just tell people, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is what you're going to pay. If I do my job, you're going to be happy to continue paying me. If I'm not doing my job, then you can part, or you're unsatisfied for any reason. You can cancel at any time, no questions asked, and we part as friends. I don't do contracts. I don't like contracts. I feel like it's some people will argue with me about that. That's a personal preference. I don't do contracts. So I just get an agreement, and then we run with it. And I've got clients that I've had for 4 years now that are still on there was no contract. They're just happy to pay me because I do what I say, And lastly, guys, repeat, repeat, repeat. Once you've got this process down, and it's going to take practice if you're doing it, whether you're doing it manually or automated, guys, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take work. It's going to take some setup. It's going to take some dialing it in. But you can get a nice system in place which can be outsourced and automated and you guys can repeat and scale. Okay? So I'm sorry I didn't get to any questions again. I know we've got to run. Is there anything pressing, Adam, that I should answer?
Yeah, we got some good questions. I don't know if we want to do it now or do we just want to tag them and answer them on Facebook?
I'll give it 7 minutes. Let's go 10 minutes over if you can.
All right, so Keith is asking, can you cover pricing on leads and how you present the cost? This might be a better one offline, but I think that is something that needs to be covered.
Yeah, well, I think, is that Keith Goodwin asking that? You know?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because I know he had asked in the Facebook group for a link to the Home Advisor pricing sheet, and I know that Armando, I believe, dropped the link in there. So that's one way to do it, Keith, is to go with a higher price than that, because number one, that's just a good benchmark. You can also look at pay-per-click, right? You can look at pay-per-click, or you can also, like Marco always says, and he's right, is to determine what the value of that lead would be if it converts, and do your pricing according to that.
Yeah, and the other thing to keep in mind with pay-per-click is that it's not just a one-to-one, because they're going to pay for many clicks before they get a conversion.
Right, and so what I mean by when you can look at that, when I talk about lead gen, guys, I'm selling phone calls. I'm not selling clicks. I'm selling phone calls. And yeah, sometimes you'll get clicks that convert into leads, but I generally when I say pay per lead, I'm talking about selling phone calls, because like 85% of all leads that are generated are going to be phone leads anyways, for like contractors and stuff like that, which is the niche that I work primarily in. So when I sell a phone call, that is much more valuable than a click. So if I might use pay per click, but go like 2.5 times. So for example, in the tree service industry, I do a ton of work in the tree service industry. And let's say a tree service or tree removal keyword plus city is a $32 click, which is pretty normal. A $32 click. Well, if I'm selling the phone call, I might sell the phone call at $65 or $70. A qualifying phone call, which means if I'm using analytics on call tracking and everything else, there will be like the phone call's got to last 90 seconds or 110 seconds, whatever it is that I've decided with that particular contractor that's buying the leads from me, because everybody has a different speed, and you've got to take that on a case-by-case basis and give a qualifying what constitutes a qualifying call and all that kind of stuff. And again, that's why pay-per-lead is so much more involved than just a flat rental.
Okay.
But anyways, and Home Advisor is also something that you can use as a benchmark, but remember, Home Advisor takes that same lead and sells it to 3 to 5 other contractors. So if you're offering exclusivity, you can always charge a higher price. Okay?
Yeah. Let's see, and he's also got another question here. I wasn't sure what he's asking for. He's saying, can you share the copy for that data digging gig, what you ask for, ? And I think he's asking for how you
outsource the data mining.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I can dig something up for you, Keith. I'll get it posted, today or tomorrow. Probably not today, but tomorrow. Just remind me, Keith, inside the Facebook group if I don't get it to you right away. But yeah, dude. I mean, it's just like anything else. You just go on to Odesk, find data entry or data mining. There's a couple different keywords you could search for, and then when you post a job and tell right in the job what it is that you want or that you're looking for. Without giving specifics in the job posting, then I suggest you go hand select. By the way, next week, guys, we're going to talk about hiring outsourcers. So this would be a better topic for next week, Keith.
Sure.
Let's put it that way, and we'll move on for now.
Okay. Let's see. One more, maybe. Daryl said last week Hernan mentioned that this week would include funnels for local SEO. Yep. What kind of things would you use to get an opt-in to begin to compete against bigger, well-known local agencies that are all over Twitter, etc.? I guess just asking once you, this is more of an SEO itself question, saying once you get an opt-in, I guess this is kind of a large, the way I'm reading it. I'm not sure if this is a funnel question per se.
Well, once you get an opt-in, well, if you got the opt-in, you've already done your job.
Yeah, so I would say, Daryl, if we're not answering it, post in the group, because now that I'm reading it, that's kind of more of an overall, what do you do once you get somebody, which is a whole nother question.
Yeah,
so
and that's the sales end of it, and that's what I'm talking about. Once if you've gotten the opt-in, you've done your SEO job because you've driven traffic into your funnel, and somebody opted in. They're requesting more information, so now it's up to you as a salesman to sell your service, and you can either contact them direct, like phone call or email or whatever, or you can send them through an autoresponder, which is what I prefer to do because it automates it, and it keeps leading them back to call you or to make the sale. You know what I mean?
And something else oh, go ahead.
Yeah, can I add just some sales 101 for people that are just starting out? Don't ever sell services when you're talking to a client. Don't ever get into all that. Get the person to like you.
That's right.
That's it. They're either going to buy or they're not because they feel comfortable with it.
That's right.
And that's where you have to start. If you can't establish that comfort with them, it's not going to happen. It's done. You move on to the next one.
That's why I love video email, because you get to kind of like people get to know you without even meeting you through video email. Does that make sense? So, bye guys. See you out next week. We're hiring outsourcers. Okay, so we're going to talk about hiring outsourcers for this stuff next week, and we're going to talk about setting up a outsourcer funnel, guys. You know, I always said I love funnels. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about setting up a hiring funnel. Okay.
This is good stuff, you guys. You're gonna love this.
Yeah, really, seriously. We're going to talk about how you can automate your hiring too, to a point. There's going to be a human element in that too, but it's only the most serious of potential VAs that you're going to talk to. Okay, we'll go with one more, Adam.
Yeah, very last question. I think it's a quick one. Sergey's asking, what do you think about building links to our citations for better rankings? How careful should we be?
Kill it. Just hammer them.
Yeah.
If you're going to be looking at, most citations are going to be no follow links.
Yep.
Check them to be sure. Get a no follow highlighter plugin in your browser, or you can right click view page source, or a lot of times you can hover over the button and it will show, like if it's a redirect link, like for example Yelp.com, those are redirect URLs that strips any SEO juice from them. Like, in other words, it doesn't pass PageRank, things like that. You'll see what I'm talking about if you just start looking at the links within citations that point to your money sites. Find the ones that are no follow or redirects. You can hammer those with keyword links, everything else. I wouldn't go overboard but all I'm saying is you don't have to be careful. If there do follow links, just be careful with your links, your inbound links that you're building the citations, that you don't over-optimize your anchor text, because that will transfer to your site, and you can actually tank your site. But guys, citations, they rank. A lot of them will rank easy. I've said this in the past. I'm going to try to say this very quickly. When you have a site a local site that you're trying to rank for, it could be a client, it could be a lead gen site, whatever. Search for the company name and the phone number. Do a company name search plus the phone number, or company name plus address, or address plus phone number. You want to pick 2 of the 3 out of the NAP, name, address, phone number, and do a search on that. And whatever citations show on the front page, the first page of Google, for a search of any of those 2-3 items, those are your most powerful citations in Google's eyes, and it's going to be specific to every search that you do. Does that make sense? So those are the citations that you should build links to, because those are going to be most likely the ones to rank. That makes sense.
Cool.
Okay, guys, I hope that was useful. We're going to talk next week about hiring outsourcers and outsourcing funnel. If you guys have any additional questions, ask them in the Facebook group, and this time we'll try to get the replay posted by Friday at the latest. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks, Adam, and thanks, Marco.
Have a good one.
Night, everybody.
Bye.